Right. Anyway, so your day, the reason you're tired is because you've just come off the BBC broadcast for World Champs 2023 here in Fort William, right?
Yeah, I guess it went out on BBC for the British channels, and
Yeah.
it's an interesting thing. Maybe the listeners don't know UCI holds on to the World Champs in terms of like this whole thing that went on with ESO and Discovery, and they run the World Cup series. As I understand it, UCI still has the rights to broadcast the World Champs in certain countries. And then they run this event. So ESO, Warner Brothers, wasn't running the World Cup. At the first World Cup, UCI was the governing body, they do the rules, blah, 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 but ESO was running it. So this is the standalone World Champs, cycling World Champs, for the first time, as I understand it, all in one place. So track is going on in Glasgow, there's BMX, there's marathon champs. My colleague, they drove straight out there, they did the commentary. They're off to Glen Tress because XC's coming up, and. So it's a whole sort of like a games, the World Champs Games. But anyway, so long answer for, the UCI holds on to the broadcast rights for the World Champs and the organization of this event. That's why you see the branding at the bottom is UCI, the podium, the jerseys, the medals. It's super special. Like, it's odd because you got the World Cup series. And
it's
then
funny,
you've got this
isn't it?
World Champs event.
It's its own separate little thing always, but it feels like the one. Winning a World Cup can change your life, right?
100%.
Winning World Champs, can it change your life more, would you say?
Yeah, it will change your life more.
You got the stripes,
You got the stripes that you get to wear for a year. World Cup, you go down in the history books, the stats. Jordan Williams won a World Cup. Jackson Golson's won a World Cup. But you see some guys' Instagram posts, Jordan specifically. Yeah, they want to win World Cups and win races. But if you can win a World Champs and put your name in the history book that way, it's a little more special, actually, I would say.
I feel like it is, yeah.
And I'm not saying, like, to win a World Cup overall is an incredibly difficult feat. But equally so, to peak at the right time for World Champs, to be able to just deal with whatever course is happening that time. Like, Loic Bruni is not normally that good here. He just hasn't had good luck. Maybe doesn't gel with the course, but man, he was a different rider this week because it was World Champs.
Yeah, it's so interesting, eh? So you switch up a gear. Is it because you don't have to? There's no element of like. You don't have to be consistent because it's not a series. Does that come into it when you're hurtling through rock gardens? I can't see why is Bruni faster here then? Why?
Then what? Then when he's here for a World Cup?
Well, you say why did he have an extra gear?
Well, that's an elusive question. He's got 5 World Champs titles by the age of 28. That's pretty close to what Nicolas Veuilleux did in his career. It's more than Greg Minnaar at an earlier stage. That's what makes him so special. He's able to lift his game but handle the pressure for such a big event. Gwyn has none so far. I think his skill set, I think he deserves one. It just hasn't gelled. It's maybe become, it gets in your head as well. Because if you win it, it is like one of the holy grails of downhill mountain biking.
Yeah.
I don't know if that answered the question. It's kind of a run around to the topic, but it is just another race. But if you're willing to risk and it goes well, you can put on the jersey.
Yeah.
And then you're forever a world champion. Other sports, you win the series, you're called the world champion. In our sports, you've got to like explain, well, I'm the World Cup series overall winner. What? But you beat everyone in the world over a season. Yeah, I'm just a World Cup. Not just. I think they're of equal weight, but the industry doesn't see it that way.
So you're saying world champs is... You think they're of equal weight, but the industry would see what world champs is worth more? Well, you get to put rainbows on your products, don't you, I guess?
It's interesting. I mean, I need to... Yeah, it's... I don't actually want to have a hard opinion on it because I respect both sides.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I don't have actually an opinion on it. I respect equal both sides. To be able to get through a World Cup season, bike, body, different
You're
venues.
chickening out.
Yeah,
What would you have
100%.
yeah. So what would you have preferred? To win a World Cup overall or World Champs? To have to your name in your career? What would you have preferred?
Yeah, you'd probably say a World Championship.
I've
But
got you there,
but
haven't
the
I? I
weird-
got you, didn't I?
But there's an asterisk. It's just going to be super interesting, and we'll get to it. When you win a World Champs before you've won a World Cup, it's super interesting.
Yeah.
I'll ask you, what do you think about that? Because then
about winning World Champs.
I think people then go, I've got to back this up. Reece Wilson went through that.
Yeah.
Remember he won World Champs? That's awesome.
Fucking white jersey,
and then,
man.
but yeah, the curse of the white jersey. But he won a World Cup now,
Yeah.
and I think you put
Without World Champs,
I
would
think
he
you
have?
put pressure on yourself. Same as Matt Walker won a World Cup overall without a World Cup win, and then he won a World Cup last year.
Yeah.
That's a similar thing.
I mean, literally, what we're talking about there is almost solely sports psychology, isn't it? It's like, because at that point you're going quick enough to win a race. You're in the running for a race against a number of
Yeah,
people.
we're literally picking apart something unnecessary, really.
Something that neither of us understand, but it is well interesting, isn't it? I don't know what I'd prefer, dude. I like
what
the
would you
idea-
prefer?
So
it's
what
a
are the
collab,
options
you
here?
can't
What are the
ask all the
options? Yeah,
questions.
what are the options?
You said, would you rather win a World Cup or a World Championship?
And there's no
Actually, no.
yeah, 'cause
That's
I was
not the
gonna
question.
say, yeah.
The question should be, would you rather win a World Cup overall
Win-
or a World Championship? That's the question.
World Cup
Oh,
overall.
is that what he asked? I'll produce it. Well, my brain's not working right now. I thought
bet.
he said
how
World
long
Cup.
was your broadcast? You're still good at talking, dude. You're still better than me at
No,
talking.
that's
I haven't
terrible.
I've done no talking today.
Okay, World Cup
And-
overall.
Yeah.
I beg to differ. We'll go back. I'll re-listen to this.
Okay.
I think your question was World Cup win.
No, World Cup overall
Okay, then
or
I
World
misheard
Champs.
it. I misheard it.
And you wanted World Champs. Do you
No.
still stand by that? No, you want World Cup
No, I
overall.
want a World Cup
What about
overall.
World Cup overall with no wins?
No, then I want a World Champs. Double
Dude.
jeopardy.
Yeah, who knows?
No, but you
Who
answer
knows?
it. World Cup overall or World Champs?
Well, I think World Cup overall is like a. I must have. This is we're doing a podcast literally at World Champs,
Yeah.
so it's pointless. Both are incredible achievements. I think I like the idea of a World Cup overall because it's like a body of work, but then also I like the idea of like World Champs being that one moment where you can rise, and like we've seen today actually. Charlie winning without a World Cup win is like, what is it that's picked him up? Would this have, if this had just been in the World Cup season, would he have won this race, or was it something beyond that?
Super good question. Yeah. It is interesting. It's certainly, I think, the moment he did well with it, because he maybe didn't expect to win it, and then the home crowd and the sort of magnitude of the event, and he likes the track. He knows he can ride well. Yeah, that's the other interesting with World Champs. If you gel with a track, you can do it a little bit better. So that's where some people say, "Oh, but it's this one-off race." And I've sort of changed my viewpoint. Is a World Cup overall is a season body of work. You could argue that's harder to win, but then you go, but there's this elusive one race. You got this
Yeah.
one chance. You got this one run. You lay it all on the line against other people that are willing to lay it on the line on a track that sometimes suits you, sometimes don't, and then you've got to raise your game.
And it's
So
almost
to me, that could be just as difficult or more difficult in a different way.
it's true, and it's almost like that is almost the. Well, you tell me. You're a seasoned downhill veteran, but that is the purity of downhill. Is being able to like perfect one run, and that is World Champs.
Yeah.
If you're talking about winning a World Cup overall without a win, then arguably you're talking about like not perfecting a run ever
it's
to the point where you win. You know,
yeah,
you're
it's
not the fastest man on the hill necessarily.
It's
like,
consistency. The good thing with the points, good and bad, is it really does reward wins. So if you're able to win in a season, you can have a really good shot overall if you keep consistent, etc., etc. Matt Walker's season was, it was 4 races, super interesting season. Not taking anything away from it.
no, I
'cause
feel
he's
like a
backed it up.
bitch, dude, talking about that. Like
No.
all of these things, you know what I mean?
No, we're just bench racing. We're just
Yeah,
sitting in a hotel
yeah.
room.
We are.
decompressing after a big day, having a beer. We didn't go down
having
the
a
hill.
birthday.
I mean, World Champs is not for everyone. I definitely struggled at World Champs because you want it so much. It can change your career. It's literally, make or break, and it's more pressure than a normal season in some instances.
Why did you struggle?
Because of that. So the pressure of it.
Literally just pressure, though.
Yeah, it's easier said than done to say it's another race.
See, that
it's
is
World Champs.
That is literally the battle of sport, isn't it? That's tennis, being able to play at each point. That's golf, not caring about the...
Yeah, not caring, normalizing it, going through your processes. Spoke to Petey. How's everyone doing? How's Nina? She won here last year, so it's on her mind. Yeah, I think she's nervous. I'm noticing X, Y, Z, and I just tell her, go through your process. So even Nina knows, she'll say, I noticed that I'm nervous. And then you have to normalize. That's normal. You can't say it's just another race. It isn't just another race. Yeah. As much as we go on about this topic, it's not just another race. It's the World Championship. So you have to normalize that you're nervous. Yeah. Yeah, I'm nervous. Everyone else is nervous. They're just hiding it.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy this clip? If so, please like and subscribe. The full episode is available by hitting one of the links on the screen right now, or type The Ride Companion into your favourite podcast app. We've even put links in the show description for you. Cheers!